Hey YouTube! I'm doing another video for this Fenix because the last one was on the old camera, or there was something wrong with the sound. So this is a sort of tester, hopefully I can do it without farting. Playing through the bass amp. Here's the bridge pickup. Both on, roll that one down a wee bit. Yeah, so I've decided just to punt this. I'm not a huge jazz bass fan. It does do all the sounds. It's much more varied than what a P bass does, but I mean, I've always just been a P bass fan, and it's kind of, you can make the P bass sounds if you faff about with the tone controls and the, you get the volume. Normally what I'd like to do is have the volume on the neck pickup full, and if you put the one on the bridge pickup full, you can feel it when you turn the bridge one down a wee bit. You're kind of in P bass sort of territory. Yeah, so this is a Fenix by Young Chang. I've looked up the serial number and it's came out as 1989, but I've since been told it's 1994 or thereabouts with this shaped head on it, which I think is pretty damn cool. Yeah, tortoiseshell scratch plate, jazz bass pickups. It's got an external earth wire, a copper wire runs from the, or a wee copper strip runs from the base of the bridge and below that pickup onto metal plates, brass plates, which are behind the pickups and in the bottom of the cavity. So it's like it's not a cheapy guitar. It's high level stuff. I've only ever really seen that inexpensive. Even not just good, not just expensive, but very expensive guitars or basses. But I've not really done that much research into this. I know there's a big Fenix by Young Chang sort of fan club bass. I think they're quite highly regarded. One of my pals, his brother had someone in his brother's band had one and raved about it all the time. So everyone was like, "Oh, Fenix are pretty amazing." So I mean, it's lovely. My pal G has a Squire Protone P bass, which is about the same age as this, and I think they might have been made at the same time in the same factory out of the same woods. Very similar. Just the type of rosewood. It's a high grade of rosewood. It's very dark. The quality of the woods that you can see are stunning. It's actually quite heavy, and not in bad nick for being 30 years old. So it's got an upgraded bridge from what you would expect in a jazz bass. Yeah, and apparently that metal strip, I asked about it. Apparently that's an original feature. I kind of assumed that someone had replaced the pickups and forgotten to put the earth wire in, but there never was an earth wire. That's apparently the original jazz basses had that because there was a big metal ashtray thing that goes over the top to hide it, so that it just ran it on the outside. So it's a vintage feature. So I just left it as it is. It's got big pots in it in the back as well, which is kind of another sort of thing. Normally when you on cheaper ones, it's like the pots are only tiny, it's like dime-sized ones as opposed to being the size of a 10p. And I finally found a place for those £40 Elixir strings that had decided they were a bit thick for me, and then I put them on a Yamaha bass and the guy offered me a tenner less for the bass without the Elixir strings, so I took them back off it. So this is the third basses I've been on. And because they're Elixir, they're good. So really all I had to do to this was clean it up. One of the machine heads is a replacement, but if I hadn't told you that, you would never know. It was from a, oh, I can't remember, another Korean bass. I believe it might have been a Gould bass, jazz bass, but it's exactly the same tuner. You would never notice. You'd be hard pushed to actually tell if they told you one of them replaced, then you had to pick which one was a replacement. But anyway, yeah. So, and I needed quite a lot of with basses. When you buy them, when they get old, they need a lot of truss rod adjustment. And this one did. Well, it's still, the thing is that when I got it, it still played pretty good. And I kind of got it and was like, hey, this is playing pretty good, but I could see the neck was like that. And it's like, oh. But it played really good by the time I set it up. So as far as I can tell, it's all original apart from that machine heads, which I probably shouldn't have just mentioned, but you would never know anyway, so. Yeah, it's damn good actually. Probably my favourite jazz bass I've ever played. I'm now actually thinking about it. Actually should be selling it. It's hard to tell because I've not really done that much research into it, because I'm not really, not that I'm not interested in it, but it's like it's a jazz bass as opposed to being, yeah, I much prefer much more obscure things. This is just kind of like, I think red's actually quite an unusual colour for a jazz bass. And it's got like a decent tortoiseshell scratch plate as well. You know, it's not one of the ones that looks like it's a sort of photograph stuck on. It's a sort of 3D-ish type thing. Not really much else to say about it. There's no fretwear. There's a couple of wee bashes round about. There's a sort of bad transfer of a dragon someone's put on the back of the headstock, but I'm sure that would scrape off if it really wanted it to. Yeah. Yeah, so I think these are Korean, as I said, made by... There was a big page and I think there's lots of conflicting info about Fenix by Young Chang were rivals of Fender, then Fender employed them to build Squires, and then they stopped building these, and then they built Squires, and then they built these and Squires at the same time, and then they just built these, and I don't really know. I'm sure there's some fun to be had in there. I've done too much research into like 80s Japanese guitars, so when it comes to sort of 90s ones, it's like, oh, I don't know anything about that. And because it's just a jazz bass, which it's a good jazz bass, but it's just a Fender in it. I'm sure someone will love it. I've decided not to mod it, so it's all original. I hope the sound's alright in this. Yep, so coming up for sale. Rock and roll.